Hey everybody, it's JB the Ranch Mechanic coming at you again with an interesting project. Yet another four-wheeler video. I know this is probably going to be like the third or fourth one I've put out. What we're looking at here is another one of our 2017s. These are the newest bikes that we have. They're getting a little bit long in the tooth though. We bought 4 of them the last time we got some back in the fall of 2017. And 2 of them, this being one of the 2, were the ranch owner's personal bikes. The other 2 bikes are falling apart because the cowboys take those 2 up on the mountain. So these are, this is the best one out of the 4. And what I'm doing to it, the problem that we have is that these little plastic sides of the fenders are bolted on and then held on with these little 2-piece push clips. And what happens is, the sagebrush up on the mountain is, 3-4 feet tall, and it is very, very tough stuff. And they'll drive over that, and it'll just get up inside the wheel wells, and one of our bikes, one of our 03s, has both of the front side fenders completely ripped off. And these little wings that surround the taillights in the back, those are usually always gone. They just get ripped off because of those little clips. So as you can see, all of the main parts of the bike, the fenders up by where you sit, that would need to be removed to gain access to the engine for any kind of maintenance, I've removed those, and I'm not doing anything with them. And as you can see, I've got the badge plates and everything, all the safety warnings and whatnot masked off. And what we're going to do is Raptor line this whole bike, with the racks and everything. And we're going to take these separate pieces of plastic and just lay on a super thick, probably 3 or 4 coats of Raptor Liner all the way around the bike. Obviously, I'll mask off the engine bay and the wheels and wheel wells, headlights, taillights, all that stuff, and get those protected. But we're going to basically turn all these separate pieces of plastic into one big cohesive sheet via the Raptor Liner. And I'm hoping, this was kind of an experiment, but I'm hoping that doing it that way will keep these things from coming apart so much, because it's kind of a pain in the butt. These are really great bikes, but for the use that we put them through, they kind of have issues. So we're just trying to correct some of those issues. So anyway, I'm scuff sanding right now. I've just got a piece of 100 grit Cubitron, 3M Cubitron, good stuff. I've done the whole bike so far with one piece of this. It lasts forever. So that's really good sandpaper. Now I'm gonna just finish sanding the few spots that I missed, then go up, take it up to the wash rack, spray off the remaining bits of crud and dirt and whatnot, bring it back down here, spray it off, wipe it down with acetone. I do have some adhesion promoter on the way back here right now. Someone ran into town to pick it up. So we'll hit it with a coat of adhesion promoter, let that cure, and then we'll spray it with the Raptor. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to the Raptor Liner today. It's already pretty late in the afternoon, but I'll at least get the bike prepped and washed, cleaned up and everything, and then maybe tomorrow morning I'll plan on wiping it down one last time with some acetone. I'm hoping acetone will be okay on this plastic. It's only going to be used as a wipe down, so it's not like it's going to be soaking, but wipe it down with some acetone, spray it with the adhesion promoter, and then hit it with the Raptor. So yeah, that's the plan. Should be an interesting project. So stand by, and in the next couple seconds it'll be tomorrow. All right, good morning everybody. It's the next day. As you can see, I got everything masked off. I have not done any final prep or anything yet. I still need to wipe it down with acetone. But as you can see, I got my drop cloths laid out. I'm not terribly worried about overspray on the floor because this whole floor is just really old concrete, like you saw in my toolbox video. My toolbox is back over there for reference. And it's filthy. So, I doubt the overspray is going to stick to it anyway. As soon as we sweep, it'll just all get brushed out with the dirt. So that's not a big deal. I will be moving anything expensive or nice out of the way, like my tools. I'll cover up the drill press over there, the other drill press here, and just kind of make sure nothing's going to get hosed. But we're about to do the wipe down with acetone. It's a little bit too cold yet this morning. It's about 46 degrees in here. Should get up to about 65 today, I think. So once the temperature climbs a bit and it's safe to spray the Raptor, that's what we'll do. But I didn't have any Grip 4 U-Pol adhesion promoter, excuse me. So the only thing that was in town that was reasonably priced was the Duplicolor adhesion promoter. But it should work fine. It's, it's certainly better than nothing. I've scuff sanded pretty much everywhere. Should stick fairly well. So we're prepped up here. We're just waiting for the temperature to climb. So give me a little bit, and next we'll be bringing out the stuff to spray. Alright guys, well I got everything wiped down. As you can see, it's still kind of chalky looking and there's some dirt hanging out in some spots that just will not come off of this plastic, so it is what it is. I figured with the scuffing, you know, combined with the adhesion promoter, we should be okay, so it's not going to get as warm today as I thought it was going to get. I think we're going to top out around 58, and it's 52 in here now, so I think that's about as good as we're going to get as far as temperature goes. I have had these cans sitting out in the sun for a little bit. Back over here, you don't have to excuse the mess. It's, you know, getting into the winter time, all of our summer projects are ending and everything's a mess, so sorry about that. We're not usually like this. But anyway, I said I was using Raptor Liner, and this is the Custom Shop Custom Coat bed liner, but guess what? It's the same stuff and it's cheaper. At least I think it is. That's kind of the rumor that I've heard. I've read on a forum somewhere that they call TCP Global, which is the company that makes this stuff, and they admitted that U-Pol manufactures this stuff for them and packages it in their own packaging. So U-Pol still makes this stuff. At least they did back when that post was written. I don't remember when that was, but anyway, this stuff's cheaper and it works the same. I've used it a couple times now and I can't notice any difference between it and the regular Raptor stuff. So anyway, we're going to get our adhesion promoter put down here, and then we'll go right into the bed liner. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up on a tripod over on the other side, and hopefully you guys can see well enough, but we'll do a little time lapse here, and that'll be that. Stand by. Yes, I know I should be wearing my 3M full face respirator with this stuff because of the cyanoacrylate stuff and the hardener. It won't fit on my face correctly because of my beard. This is better than nothing. It'll at least keep the crap out of my lungs. It's not completely airtight, but it fits a heck of a lot better than 3M with my beard, so it is what it is. Don't be like me. Shave your beard if you're going to do any painting. Guys, what I just did there, I have a 1 gallon can of acetone, and I'll just dip that stick into the acetone and just spray it into the garbage can, and that runs acetone through the gun so the stuff doesn't harden inside the innards of the gun. That's all I was doing. So I've done it that way for a while now, and I haven't had to trash any of these guns yet. Got 2 or 3 of them, so it seems to work. But anyway, that's it for the first 3 cans. I'm gonna go to lunch, let that cure for an hour, off gas a little bit, and then we'll see where we're at when we come back. So let that dry, and then I'll get back with you. Alright guys, I apologize. I kind of went into autopilot mode there after lunch, and I did end up spraying that last can on and demasking everything before I even realized what I was doing, and I forgot to set the camera up, so I apologize about that. Got everything finished up here. It's been drying now for about an hour, and I've got everything demasked. I think it turned out pretty well. One thing I will say about this particular batch of custom coat bed liner that I was using, these are new. these metal cans. I've never used them in the metal cans before. The ones that I've used from Custom Coat before have come in the plastic Raptor Liner style bottles. I don't like these. I don't like the metal cans. I don't like the hardener, just because it is super hard to pour the hardener into these bottles. And on top of that, the stem that screws into the bottle is shorter, and the entire orifice that screws on is different than the Raptor Liner bottles. So I was going to use my original Raptor Liner gun that I got, and I couldn't because the thread pitch is different. This is bigger on the Custom Coat bottles, and this stem is shorter. So not only would the stem for the Raptor not fit in there, but I couldn't even screw the bottles onto my Raptor gun. I had to use this one, which I actually like. It's almost identical, except it has this nicer handle. Instead of the little tiny trigger that you have to use one finger on, you can put all 4 of your fingers on that and give it a squeeze, and it does have the adjustable tip right there. So I don't mind the gun, but I don't like the way they have these metal bottles set up. And on top of that, I just feel like the recipe that they uses way too freaking much hardener. I mean, the stuff was coming out and it was just like water, and it came out really runny and really difficult to control and really difficult to spray. So yeah, I just didn't care for it. But overall, I think it turned out well. I think it looks good. Be a quick walk around here. I apologize about the sun glare there, but I think it looks pretty good. I think the boss will be happy. He got all the placards demasked and everything. So, but yeah. So now I'm going to start putting the body panels back on, and I'll come back when everything's finished up and show you the final product. So there it is. Alright guys, well we just got finished up installing a 2-inch lift and a new Bison front push bumper on the Boss's ATV, and this is not it. This is mine. This is my 2006 Rincon, which you might recognize from some other videos. And the reason I'm showing you this first is just so we can do a little bit of a size comparison. This is stock tires, stock suspension, stock everything. I mean, it's 13 years old and it's got about 6,000 miles on it, so it's fairly well used. But stock tires on these are all 12-inch. All these Rincons use 12-inch wheels. So what we're looking at here are, I believe, 25 by 10s. Yeah, these are 25 by 10s in the rear and 25 by 8s in the front. So this is stock suspension, stock wheels and tires. And we moved over to this guy. So it's a 2-inch lift front and rear, and it was only $79 from I believe it was ATV Sport that I got it from. Let me see here. Super ATV, excuse me. Super ATV is the manufacturer. So here we go. This is the Boss's bike in finished form, ready to go up on the mountain. And these are old tires. These are, you know, bigger tires off of his old machines. So we just kind of swapped them over. So again, size comparison. My bike, stock. This one, 2-inch lift, bigger tires. So again, 12-inch wheels, and these are 26 by 11s in the back and 26 by 10s in the front. So quite a bit larger, quite a bit wider. So that's what he's working with now. This is the first lift we've ever installed on one of our ATVs, so this is kind of a test bed. We'll see how well the bedliner holds up, and we'll see how well, you know, the CVs and everything react to having that extra stress put on them. But yeah, I'll go around the front here and give you another look at that new Bison front bumper guard, brush guard. These brush guards are nice because they're really easy to install. They bolt right on. They clip onto the rack and then they bolt on where the stock front skid plate is. Right back up in there. So super easy to install, super fast to install, and they really deflect all the sagebrush and stuff down and away from all the important stuff in the front there, your radiator and oil cooler and whatnot. So yeah, that's it. Ready to rock and roll up on the mountain. It is exceptionally cold today, so I apologize about all the sniffling. We have a cold front moving through, and we were in the mid-60s last week, and it was 2 degrees outside when I woke up this morning, and the temperature tonight is supposed to get down to -1. So yeah, happy October. But one thing I will say about this lift, just to touch on something real quick, and I'll see if I can roll some pictures in here to explain this, but how this works, in the front it's super easy. It's just you unbolt the top of the front shock and you just put relocation brackets in. Not so easy for the rear. On the rear you have these 2-inch spacers that go in between the shock, the bottom of the shock and the spring. So you have to compress the spring to get the spacer in there, which, you know, it doesn't sound that terribly difficult, right? If you ever installed a lift kit for or a leveling kit on a pickup truck or SUV, it's not that hard. Well, most regular McPherson strut type spring compressors will not fit on a spring this small for an ATV. They actually recommend in the instructions that you use ratchet straps to compress the spring. I don't know about you guys, but I have a wife and 3 kids, and I pretty much value my face and my life. So please do not use ratchet straps to install one of these. It is not safe. It's incredibly dangerous. Pull the shock off. You're going to need to have either a hydraulic press or just take it to a shop and have somebody install the spacers for you. I'm sorry, there's just no other way about that. The springs, despite their size, are very strong. What I did, I had an 1.5 inch impact socket, a deep impact socket. I took the spring, or I took the shock completely out. This is more like a strut because it has a spring on it, so let's just call it a strut. I took the strut completely out, put it over in my hydraulic press. I put that 1.5 inch impact socket on it. I compressed the strut completely down as far as it would go until the spring was completely compressed. Then I took some heavy gauge mechanics wire and I tied the spring in place. So when I let the pressure off of the hydraulic press and the ram came back up, the spring stayed down and the bottom of the shock opened up so I could get the spacer in there. And then I just recompressed it again with the ram, cut the wires off, and then just let the ram back up with the spacer installed, and easy peasy. But please don't use ratchet straps to try to install one of these. It is in no way is that safe, and it blows my mind that they actually suggested that in the instructions. And they're going to get sued. Someone's going to end up tearing their face off or killing somebody, and that's really stupid in my opinion. And, you know, maybe they've figured out a way to do it safely, but they certainly don't spell it out for you in the instructions. They just say, use ratchet straps to compress the spring. That's all it says. But, you know, 10 years of public safety experience under my belt, I kind of think about stuff like that. Anyway, yep, that's pretty much it. Everything's installed. And one final look at the bike with the bedliner on it. And the lift kit. So, yeah, that's the final product, guys. I appreciate you watching and following along. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and leave me a comment down there, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Like I say at the end of all my videos, I do my best to get back to everybody who leaves me a comment, just because I like interacting with all you guys. I like hearing your suggestions and ideas. So if you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, click like. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate you watching. You guys have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.